Welcome to the Class is Permanent podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 28th. We have episode 41 here. We have a good one. We are going to get into a recap of the Premier League and all games from around the world. We have an awesome Champions League preview. We're at the semis, so we're almost there. We're getting there. We are going to do Pooch's World Cup review. He's talking 1978, everyone's favorite World Cup. And then, of course, we will get into, that's it, actually. That's all we're going to get into. Let's get into it. Away we go. Alrighty, for those watching on YouTube, you can probably see we have made some upgrades here. We have dipped into the bank. We've made it look a little prettier. Let's get this thing started. I'm joined by Poochie Main, who's doing all the Jalen Brunson celebrations. What's up, Pooch?
Hey, Ethan. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, and that looks awesome. For those who are watching it, you can see it says, "Oh, welcome, April 27th, episode 41." Look at that. We got a little overlay going. Look at us. Oh, money. Owen got in the lab. By lab, he means I just spent another $10 a month on this, and we're now able to update things. But yeah, I'm joined by Pooch. Pooch, what's up, dude?
Nothing much. Had a good weekend. Went to a trader's birthday themed party, like the TV show.
There's a show called Traders?
Yeah, it's like Mafia, but
I'm not familiar.
Celebrities do it. Yeah, I got named a trader, of course. I got to the last round and lost. There's 3 traders out of 18 people. So I was the last one standing, and I lost. My tactic worked perfectly. Just be quiet and act like I wasn't really into it, and I'm just a buffoon who wants to do all the challenges, which is actually how I felt. There was no game plan in terms of let me talk to everybody, strategy. It was literally our good friends Roman and Harubi both got out in the first 2 rounds, and I was quote unquote talking to ghosts the entire time because I was just talking to them. So it helped me go under the radar. Showed a couple people the NFL draft on my phone, so they were like, well, he can't be texting in a group chat because he's watching the NFL draft. So it worked out well up until the last round when somebody said, you're mirroring my picks. And I said, I've been going for that same person this entire time. I don't know how I could mirror your picks, but that's how I got out.
No idea what you're talking about. I kind of got the gist as you were speaking, but no idea what you're referring to. I just looked up the show. There's 4 seasons of the show. I've never heard of this show, and there's 4 seasons.
It's big in the UK. It's one of those shows like The Office where it's big in the UK, and then it got brought over to the US.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go over to our producer, Mr. Owen. You guys are going to see Owen on screen, off screen. We now have a mode to put him backstage, so that way when we bring on pros, he doesn't have to be scared anymore. He just hide backstage and still do his producer stuff. What's up, O?
Yeah, this is the best development this podcast has ever made. This is really exciting for me. I can kind of just do my thing, say hello, go back into my hole, and then maybe if I have something to share, I can pop my head back out. This is really the best of both worlds. I can write inflammatory things underneath your guys' faces, which will be nice. Really helpful for me.
I just realized I could too. Wait, do I have that power too? I don't know how I'm not giving my own self that power.
Don't look into it.
Okay. Oh, text. Let's see if it works. Class. Oh, here. How about this? Owen is smelly. Smelly Owen. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Got his ass. Got your ass. Yeah, fair enough.
I think we should let Owen be in charge. It could get rambunctious.
That's fair.
If we hop in.
Yeah, Pooch and I are going to get a little too crazy, especially with recent developments. But good. I'm glad that no one asked me how I'm doing again.
I literally
I did. No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
You said, Pooch, how are you? I said, I'm good. E, how are you? And then you
that's not like a real one.
It is.
That's not a real one.
I seriously want to know how you're doing.
Well, I'm going to ask you what's new in your life, you know what I mean? The bigger issues you just say. When I say how are you, you say I'm good.
Dude, you're so particular with how you want to be asked. How is your life going?
You're
a particular little guy. You're a particular little guy. I'm taking a page out of Owen's book and calling you little guy.
You're still thinking about that?
It's insane. Anyway, how's everyone's NFL draft? How do we like the way it finished since Pooch brought it up?
I think you should start first, Ethan.
Thank you, Pooch. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I liked the Giants draft. I was very, very happy with it. I would say it's an A, maybe an A plus. What about you, Pooch? How was the Patriots draft?
I think it was probably a B minus, only because our head coach was in family counseling on day
Correct.
3.
Yeah, that's a tough
if he
one.
wasn't, I'm sure it probably would have been a B plus, even with the same exact players. So I'm a little nervous too, because I know we're probably going to get AJ Brown, but
Yeah.
apparently Kayshon Boutte is the one that's going the other way to the Eagles. And I feel like that's a mistake. He's 23 years old. He just has had his best year. Like,
he's got an awesome last name, Boutte.
Yeah. He's an LSU guy too.
L's up. Giants signed Dominic Zavada, and I'm just watching the video now. He's hitting 60-something yard field goals.
No, I'm going to be honest. The only reason he went undrafted is because this past year he like kind of fell off a bit. But last year, and then I think it was when we won the national championship, he was like the best kicker, one of the top 3 kickers in the country. Like he was, I think last year, 2 years ago, he won the like best kicker in college football award. Last year he came back and he missed a few, so I think that's why he went undrafted. But if he can get it going, he could be like an NFL kicker for like a decade at least.
Yeah, I just watching college football. I didn't think the Giants were going to go kicker because we signed Jason Sanders and we have that guy Ben Sowles or whatever who was on our team last. He like came in at the end of the season, so like all right, we're good. But then he just literally posted like by his pool. He was like, "Let's go Giants" with the Giants hat. I was like, all right. Oh, and how was the Vikings draft?
Not bad. I think I'm happy with it. Majority defense, which is what we needed, I guess. I don't know. My favorite pick is Dominique Orange, defensive lineman from Iowa State. He's my favorite pick because his nickname is Big Citrus.
Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
We also drafted a fullback.
Mm.
Which, when's the last time you heard that? Yeah.
Hashtag representation.
Yeah,
I'm all about that.
Yeah, some late round running back from Wake Forest, super fast, one of the fastest guys in the draft. Could be exciting. I don't know. I always take like draft stuff at face value because nothing means anything. Some idiot gets on TikTok and he's like, grading every single team's NFL draft class. And then it's like, they have no idea what they're saying. And you don't blame them, but who knows what's going to happen.
It's also, how do you draft? Like, people already grade a draft class. It's the same thing in soccer. Like when you rank like a summer window and they haven't played.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? Like, and I get it. Like you could do it based off of like, well, they needed this position and he projects to be a good player, but it is hilarious. They're like you said, it'll be like grading every team's draft class. This team got a C because I don't like this player. And it's like, well, they clearly do. So they probably thought it was pretty good. I'm with you there,
It's the same vibe as doing like the day after the draft concludes, a way too early next year draft.
The worst.
Because not only are like 80% of the players that they project in the first round just not going to be a first round talent, but also it's like, how did you figure out that like the Jets are getting the number 1 overall pick? Or like
the Raiders based on Super Bowl odds.
Oh, that just blew my mind. Actually,
that's how they do it. A lot of times,
I thought it was just random people being like, I think the Jets are going to be the worst team, and I'm just like, wow, okay, that's kind of calling them out.
No,
I didn't realize it was Super Bowl odds.
A lot of times they do but I saw one recently, and again, we're talking the wrong footy. I saw one recently, and they had 4 teams, the 4 I think with NFC South teams, based on the picks, not making the playoffs, which is not possible. One of them has to make the playoffs. So it was just funny because they were like, this draft doesn't it doesn't make sense. So whatever. It's all good fun. Like it's all good fun. Whatever. Let's talk a little Knicks tape real quick before we get into the real footy. Knicks taking on the Hawks tonight. Pooch, what do you think?
Knicks in 6.
Is that possible? It's 2-2 right now. Yeah. It can be Knicks in 6. Oh, you're kind of a resident hoop head. What do you think here?
Yeah, Knicks got to take this home. They should not have been in the position they were put in against Atlanta to begin with. just not that strong of a team. But I think they'll get
McCollum
out of this
hooping.
series alive.
CJ McCollum is hooping right now, which I kind of thought brother was like totally washed. Listen, him and Dame Lillard had their thing going on, but like I don't know. My only thing with the Knicks, I barely watch basketball. I am a Knicks fan. Like I think it was game 3. Brunson goes like 10 times in a row at the end of the game. They just do not pass the ball to Cat. And it's like, if you're just going to rock that way, you might as well just take Cat off the floor because you don't think he's good enough defensively. Big purr. Who's his equivalent? Who's his equivalent in footy?
Oh.
Zesty. Who's zesty like that?
Trying to think.
Why do I feel like it's Reece James?
Yeah, no, that's a great. Yep.
Have I seen stuff that he has like a weird voice and he does like the same shit?
No. He has like a more normal voice than Cat. I think it's maybe like earlier in his career, like he had mannerisms when he would walk on the pitch where you'd be like, that's zesty.
I'm trying to think. Who else? Oh, anyone that come to mind?
I feel like there's got to be a Spanish equivalent, like a winger or something.
Cucurella, when he did the Cucurella.
Don't compare them, please.
Cucurella. You know what I'm talking about? That chant? And he's like moving. Yeah, that was weird. Mbappe, he was a little bit on sus watch for a while. I don't know what we're allowed to say on this pod.
Listen, when a man loves a woman, person, they can do whatever they want.
We were happy for dictator Mbappe. He loves being a dictator.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got from the Knicks to Mbappe's relationships. Knicks tape. Yeah, I got the Knicks winning tonight, hopefully, and carrying on. All right, let's get into the real footy then. I've had some people asking like, "Hey, can you talk a little bit about NBA?" Which I'm surprised they wanted to hear that from us because I barely watch.
I don't think I watched a singular playoff game. I don't think I watched a regular season game. I could go through the NHL playoffs, but I don't know who wants to hear that.
I'll give you 30 seconds to just give us a very brief recap of NHL playoffs. Like, what do I have to know?
McDavid's dead, so the Oilers are done. The Eastern Conference is just a dogfight. There's like nobody great, but everybody's kind of good. And then the Avalanche are just going to win it all because they're just amazing.
Okay, they're good again. All right, fair enough. Let's get into it here. Some new news that has come out. So we've been talking about Ronaldinho. Did you guys watch the Ronaldinho documentary?
Not yet. Have not had the time.
Man. I don't know why we have you guys here. World Cup 86 movie is coming out regarding the World Cup in Mexico. And Pooch, I think you said, who was it? Diego Luna, or is he the soccer player?
Yeah. No, Diego Luna, the actor. There probably is a soccer player. Oh, yeah, there is a soccer player.
Yeah, so I was confused. I was like, wait a second. Thought you were
no,
fucking
the
with
actor.
me.
He was in Narcos Mexico. He's the lead actor. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's just going over how the World Cup came about for 96 Mexico or the World Cup itself. I watched a bit of the trailer, but not the whole thing.
Yeah, I only watched the trailer. I thought it was just all of the shenanigans surrounding the lead up to the World Cup.
That's kind of what it seems like. It kind of seems like what you've been interested in your reviews, like the carpet bombing. Like that would be in this documentary.
I think, it was, what is it? 78 to next Monday will be my review of 86. So I guess we'll find out. We'll find out what the movie's about.
There you go. Well, we'll have to do a little live stream, maybe a watch along with all the fellas. If you guys remember that during COVID, where like Netflix would be a thing, you'd like sit in like, that. Let me tell you.
I think we watched the Anelka doc together.
We probably did.
You, Harubi Sosa.
Let me tell you something.
We did that.
I, at that time, with my, significant other, we tried to watch Tiger King together. Worst experience of my life. The syncing up of like, oh, well, you're like 3 seconds ahead of me, so you wait, now I'll press play.
Yeah.
Worst experience ever. At some point, I was like, why don't we just watch it separately and we'll just talk about it later? I don't know. That type of shit, just like, that's a pet peeve. Like, just grinds my gears.
I think after like the third or fourth time I did it, I was just like, we should just FaceTime.
Yeah.
Like, just FaceTime.
Yes, exactly.
Do it that way. Because this is.
It's not working. Yeah. That was, I don't even know why we thought it was a good idea. Like, I don't know who was like, yeah, this sounds awesome. Let me sit on FaceTime with you while I watch the same thing as you. Get the fuck out of here. Horrible. Imagine me calling you up, Pooch, like, hey, I know I can't come to see you for the Arsenal Man City game. Let me FaceTime you and we'll talk to each other during the entire game.
I would say no.
You and I would be like this. Even if, let's make it a neutral game. Let's watch AFCON final. Like, no, we're good. We're good.
For the people that don't remember COVID, you were desperate for any human interaction.
100%. Very desperate. Very. Best World Cup city. Someone wrote this here. Who wrote that?
I don't know, but if you're discussing it, I think we should throw Atlanta into the ring. Magic City, I've heard is the best wings in the world.
Magic City on a Monday.
Got to get the Lou Williams special. I saw the Knicks recently went there. Found out recently that it's so popular that they have a drive-through just for the wings.
Fair enough.
That's not lying about that. Yeah, I guess that was Atlanta talk.
So you just wanted to prop up Atlanta for a couple of seconds. Okay.
I just wanted to prop up Magic City, if I'm being honest.
We could do a best World Cup city. That could be a little clip for social. After the episode, we could sit down and do that and do like a little like left or right,
Let's
that like little head thing, like New York.
For me,
Montreal.
it's just gonna be Atlanta.
No. We got that with you. I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I don't know what I'm gonna pick yet.
I just also would love to see like an Eastern European go to Atlanta and be like, well, I heard what's more American than buffalo wings? Let me go into this buffalo wing place and then just see straight ass everywhere. And like have like Gucci Mane playing in the background and like Migos and Thug and just like they're like, what is going on right now?
Dude,
I don't think they'd ever leave. That would be like an Alice in Wonderland situation where they're like, where did I just go?
That'd be like Nikola Jokic headed down there. Thank God that they sent that boy to Denver. Imagine the Jokic brothers down there in Atlanta.
A mess. It would be a mess down there. Clean up on aisle 4.
That's why they had to put my boy Lamine. They had to put him over in Knoxville. Oh no, Chattanooga.
Imagine LaMelo Ball there instead of Charlotte.
They know what they're doing. I mean, they had to handicap Zion. They sent that motherfucker to San Antonio. No, they didn't. They sent him to New Orleans to get him fat.
Yeah.
All right.
But he's been doing work down in New Orleans, so
yeah. I mean,
he's figured out ways.
Good. Hey, good on him. He would not be able to put that work in San Antonio. Let me tell you, what country's staying in San Antonio? What nation? This is actually even better. What we should be doing. Where's every team's home base?
Yeah,
is staying in San Antonio.
I think Brazil's in New Jersey, which is very smart. They're like North Jersey.
They're in Morristown. They
are.
Because they're gonna be at the Red Bulls facility. Yeah. San Antonio, a team base with Toyota Field. What? Mexico national team to play in San Antonio. Oh, they literally just got announced as a new home base, so no one's taken it yet. Well,
early guess would be it's a country that prefers tortas.
Mexico not even going to stay in Mexico City. They're coming up to San Antonio.
Yeah, honestly, I could see Mexico being in San Antonio.
Bro, Czech Republic is staying in Mansfield, Texas. Group B.
That actually makes a lot of sense, I feel like.
Qatar is staying in Santa Barbara, California.
Qatar could not handle the tortas.
No.
The tortas would be all over them.
Switzerland is going to be in San Diego.
You want to know what country probably could handle the tortas? South Korea.
Yeah, that would be actually an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Two cultures that need to blend more.
Yes. We need to see more South Korean tortas.
Brazil will be in Morristown, New Jersey, which is just hilarious. Like if you're we obviously understand why they're there, but like looking at it on paper, like you're gonna have like Rafinha and Vinicius like walking around Iron Bar, like grabbing dollar beers. Maybe around grilled cheese.
Maybe they'll get grilled cheese. They'll come play darts with me.
That'd be awesome, bro. Them at Famished Frog after they win their group stage game against Haiti.
Imagine we're just sitting there at Famished Frog, and all of a sudden you just see like Rafinha, Big Gabby, Marquinhos just walk in, and they're just like, we want to play darts, and we're like, we'll play you for the darts, and then we become best friends with them, and they say, we need you guys to travel with us.
That's a Pooch fan fiction. Scotland will be in Charlotte. USA will be in Irvine. Australia, Oakland, California. Wow.
That doesn't feel correct.
That should not have been a base camp.
No.
Germany is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. All right.
That I actually saw Nagelsmann go through because I think they're staying at like Wake Forest. And they went through the facilities and it's crazy.
I'm
Like the
sure.
facilities that they're getting there are nuts. I mean, most places.
Curacao is Boca Raton, Florida. Ivory Coast is Philly.
Let me just say
Wild.
something really quick. Curacao not scoring a single goal staying in Boca Raton, Florida. That's a vacation, brother.
Yeah, they're going to be at FAU. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a vacation, brother. They're going to be at the beach all day. They're going to be like, oh, training.
Dude.
Like that's.
Listen, you want to hear a tough one? Yeah. Ecuador is going to be my sleeper team. They're in Columbus, Ohio. Tough one.
Sticking out like a sore thumb there.
Netherlands are in Kansas City, Missouri. Get ready to learn barbecue. Japan's in Nashville. That's a terrific spot for them.
That's a great one. Oh God, okay, Ethan. After this episode, Owen, I need you to just to find all of the base camps for each team, and Ethan, we're gonna rank the top 10 or top 15 like base camps and countries. Like
the best
like Curacao, Curacao and Boca Raton right now is probably 1-1.
I have a better one.
Soccer-wise, no, but Japan, Nashville's up there. South Korea, San Antonio's up there.
I have two better ones for you right now.
Yeah.
Iran is going to be in Tucson, Arizona, which, if you guys remember, there's a Sacha Baron Cohen segment where he acts like he was putting like a mosque in one. Like, it feels like that's very. And then the other one is Saudi Arabia will be in Austin, Texas.
Feel like that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't do that correctly. Yeah. France will be in Boston. I'm not going to, I really want to go through all these. I'm not going to. Argentina's also in Kansas City. That's hilarious. Algeria's in Lawrence, Kansas. Get ready to learn Jayhawk basketball.
Jesus, dude, imagine you're like, man, can't wait for the World Cup in the U.S. and you get stuck in Lawrence. They're like, this is Algeria. Like, this is, bro, there's nothing around here.
I'm just scrolling through. Ghana's in Providence, Rhode Island.
Once again, feel like that's not a good. Okay, yeah, we should get off this train because we could probably discuss an hour just on this topic.
All right. Well, talking about World Cup, Pooch, why don't you get into your World Cup review of the 1978 World Cup?
Yeah, this one, not a fun one. Not a lot of soccer really to discuss, a lot of extracurricular stuff. So I'll start. 78 World Cup was hosted in Argentina. Okay. Now, if anybody knows geopolitics, the 70s were a little rough of a time for Argentina. This World Cup was hosted in the middle of a coup with the Argentinians. So about 30,000 people were in jail during this World Cup. Mm-hmm. There were things such as journalists being questioned and arrested during this from foreign countries. The original organizer was killed the day after he was named. Rumors have it that somebody else wanted the job in the army, so they killed him for it. There were bombs going off constantly, like street bomb, like just in the street.
As there are normally.
48 people disappeared during the tournament. Argentinians just disappeared during the tournament.
Happens.
So yeah, not that should probably paint a picture for you of kind of what we're going to get into involving this tournament here. So Argentina, soccer-wise, decided to go back to the free-flowing football that they were known for in the 30s and 40s, away from this like anti-football that they became known for 50s, 60s. So they tried to go back to those earlier roots, kind of what the Brazilians did, and it worked for them. Scotland made the World Cup. They actually had the fourth best odds out of everybody. There was parades in the streets for them as they were leaving to go to Argentina. There were songs being made that like were hitting top 10 record charts, like on the charts. Really like great vibes. A lot of the Scottish, I think they had Kenny Dalglish at this time. So a lot of people were high on Scotland. They got grouped. They lost to Peru. They drew Iran. They drew Iran in 78. So it's not a great Iran team. They lost to Peru, who I think this was their first World Cup. Not a good performance. The story goes, and it said it wasn't 100% true, but the author was like, I kind of want to believe it, that when they got off the plane back at Scotland, that even the people helping with the luggage off the plane didn't even come out to help the team with the luggage, that the team had to deboard themselves. So yeah, just a funny little anecdote about Scotland there. this World Cup was really kind of swirling with rumors of potentially thrown matches a lot of the time. So a
Okay.
big rumor throughout the 70s in terms of South American soccer was that there were a lot of dictators at the time in South America. So that throughout the 70s, they would kind of help each other throw games in exchange for food, helping stay in power, weapons. So, an example in this World Cup is Peru, where the Argentinian president and the little known American politician Henry Kissinger entered the
Oh,
Peru locker room before the game and said, "Hey, good luck out there." Like, and just ominously, and all the Peruvian players were like, "What do they mean by that? Like, what is that for?" And then they ended up like getting destroyed. Like their best player was taken out in the 60th minute. Um, he points to collusion. Other people that were there were like, "You're down 4-0. You're not winning anyway." Still,
mhm.
though, I don't know if Spain's down 4-0 in like a quarterfinal match, and De La Fuente is gonna go, "All right, Yamal, you're off." Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if that's happening. Like,
that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
yeah. So there were throughout the 70s rumors of stuff like that happening. Um, Tunisia was banned from AFCON before this tournament because they stormed off from a dubious penalty in a third place match at AFCON. Sound familiar, Ethan? So I'm talking about AFCON this year.
No, I know. I was given the
So
eyes.
yeah, so they were banned from AFCON for 2 years, but they actually helped Havlange, the FIFA president, because he was getting a lot of heat for trying to include more African teams. After Zaire got destroyed in the previous World Cup, a lot of people were like, "We don't need more African teams."
It's good to
So
know that this is still a debate.
yeah,
Like this, it's like a
yeah,
50-year debate about same thing with like college basketball or college football. Like, no, they can't compete. They shouldn't be in it. Just put more Italians or Europeans.
yeah, yeah. So the Tunisians performed well. Um, they were respectable. They got grouped, but they beat Mexico and they almost beat West Germany.
Okay.
So it kind of led to like a little bit more lax on the no more African teams, and people were like, "All right, well they can compete. Maybe we should allow more." Um, the Dutch, they, if you remember, finished runners up at the previous World Cup. They were actually without Johan Cruyff in this World Cup, so Cruyff did not travel to Argentina because a few months before, somebody burgled into his home. Quote, a man who traveled the country, Spain, by
Okay.
van, smoked pot, found out that Cruyff had some tax evasion stuff going on, and
Okay.
he thought that that meant Cruyff was having all of his money in cash in his house. So he decided to
You.
bring a sawed-off shotgun and a rope to Cruyff's home. He then gets into the home. His wife answers the door, immediately wipes on the couch. Cruyff walks in, he ties up Cruyff, and then their child shows up. And the child serves as a distraction enough for the wife who wasn't tied down to raise the alarm. The guy ended up getting 7 years. But because of this incident, Cruyff was like, I'm not leaving my family to go across like the ocean.
Understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, to go play soccer. He was like, I'll sit this one out. I'll make sure my
Un-
family's okay.
Unrelated, but yeah, this is why Kim Kardashian's a bad person
Agreed.
because she still leaves her
100%.
family, and Kanye
Yeah.
did too. We're not
Yeah.
even. I'm gonna actually edit his name out. I hate that guy that I just said. I'm not gonna edit his name out. It's too much work for me. But go on. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely scary.
With that being said, without them having their best player, the Dutch did make the finals against Argentina. Argentina, they made the Dutch bus go throughout the city so that, as we see nowadays with the fans where they pound on the bus, they throw
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
at the
yeah.
bus, that's what they made the Dutch team do. They took like a extra long route around to get to the stadium instead of like the short 20-minute ride,
Mm-hmm.
as an intimidation tactic. And then on top of that, the Argentinians were an hour late to the kickoff. So the
Makes
Dutch were
sense.
out there like ready to go, like in the line, and the Argentinians just didn't show up for an hour because they were protesting one of the Dutch players having a cast on his arm, saying that it wasn't allowed.
No, I get
Um,
that. Yep. That's a big thing
yeah,
growing up. Youth soccer. Hey, can I
yeah,
play with this? And it has to be soft cast or not. Yeah. Or else it's a weapon. Go on. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. No. I'm just saying, like an hour late to kick off, that was a bit egregious. Um,
Yeah.
that's like like the World Cup final this year starts at 3 p.m. That's like whatever team is like the home. If the U.S. make the final, that's like the U.S. sitting there being like, I don't like that Yamal has a cast on his hand, so we're just gonna wait till 4 o'clock to come out. Like
Is this
everybody would be so mad. Like,
what's funny is I wonder if this is what. So for those that remember, and I guess they still do it to this day, but Argentina, they still do this where like Messi leads the team out, kind of, where they don't do like the
yeah,
traditional lineup. And supposedly he started doing it because it's something that the old Argentinian teams used to do. And I wonder if it
mm,
has something to do, I don't know, like in this realm of it had
maybe,
something to do with that. Yeah. I don't know. Something interesting. As you're mentioning, it's just hitting my head
yeah.
that I remember it was something he did, but go on.
I also think personally, this is not in the book, but this personally, when I was reading this, I was like, the Dutch and the Argentinians, I mean, we saw it at the last World Cup. I just feel like there's so much hate between them soccer wise. And I
Yeah.
think it all started at the 78 World Cup, where it's like you're making us go around in a bus getting pelted by stuff
Yeah. I mean,
from your country and then wait an hour before kickoff. Like, I know there's other stuff with what's his face and Van Gaal. What was
Messi.
his name? No, not
Oh,
Messi.
Raquel May.
Riquelme and Van
But
Gaal.
that's
Like,
why
I know
Messi
there's
doesn't
other
like him.
stuff. Yeah, but I just think that these two countries, just soccer wise, hate each other.
Yep.
So the game itself, Argentina leads for most of it. The Dutch tied up in the 82nd. So it's like 1-1, 82nd minute. Apparently the crowd, you could hear it go so like it was silent library. Um, and
Great show,
the
by the
or
way.
one great show, amazing show. One of the Argentinians said when he heard the crowd go like that, he said basically like, "Oh shit, like we need a score. Like this crowd may
Yeah.
turn on us if we don't win this." They ended up scoring 2 goals in the last 8 minutes to win the game 3-1. So that was the 78 World Cup. Like I said, not a lot of soccer. I actually had it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I had it eighth out of 11 World Cups
Okay.
just because
Kind
it
of,
was
yeah.
it was one of those where like you're not like this is more like documentary, like what the hell's happening in Argentina, and also in the middle of it we hosted a World Cup. Like it could be a whole documentary on the coup, like the 8-year coup in Argentina, and then just a 20-minute segment on, oh yeah, in the middle of it they also hosted a World Cup where like 30,000 people have just disappeared. People are dying in the streets. There's no food anywhere. But yeah, we hosted a World Cup, so that's cool. So that's why it's eighth for me.
All right. Fair enough. Let's move on now to our weekend recap. Jumping in, we will start with the Premier League. Let's start with our first game here, at least the first one I remembered. Sunderland gets smashed by Nottingham Forest 5-0. First things first, we were totally off on this one.
Nope. I got it right. I said Nottingham Forest.
I don't think we said they were going to smash Sunderland though.
No.
Better. Cool. I don't think you may have said that Forest was going to win, but I don't think we said they were going to get smashed by Sunderland.
No, but I said that they'd win, and you said Sunderland was going to win. You
I
wanted the black cats. I wanted the trees.
No, fair enough.
The tree always beats the cat. I'm just going to say that.
Well, the cat gets stuck in the tree, and then the firefighter, Igor Tudor, has to come and save the cat. I think we're too far into this.
Regis Lebris fired for Igor Tudor?
We did say he didn't deserve to be fired, but I mean, game 5-0 is pretty bad.
I just think it's one of those where Sunderland knows they're not going down. They know they probably have no shot at Europe, and they're just in that middling phase where the players that are going to go to the World Cup don't want to get don't want to get injured.
Yeah, you don't
the
get
players
hurt.
Not. They're already looking at Mykonos as a destination spot. So
yep. All right, fair enough. With everything coming out about Labrie maybe getting fired, really not the type of performance you need at the weekend. Shout out to Ellie Anderson. He had his first goal since his mother passed. So good for him. Liverpool beat Palace 3-1. This, I don't think we've called something as perfectly as we have.
Yeah.
There was a point where Palace looked like maybe they would equalize and make it one of these tricky games, but Liverpool kind of just took care of business here. I didn't watch the game, but yeah.
I watched bits and pieces. I had this one and the Tottenham game flowing at the same time. And this one, like you said, like it always felt like it was going to be Liverpool's day. But I'll say this, that was a pretty chippy game. Like it got physical.
Right.
You could tell Glasner's comments maybe struck a chord even with Arne Slot, like in middle of the week, like where he's like, we've already beaten them 4 times this year. Like it was a chippy game. I was like, I mean, I think we also called before the game that this could be a new rivalry brewing, like not a derby, but a rivalry. And I think you're starting to see that where like Liverpool's like, how the hell do they keep beating us? And Palace is like, we're your daddy, like bow down to daddy.
It's literally like a Spurs Man City. Like it doesn't matter how good a form Liverpool's in. It's just for some reason, like this Palace team just kind of has their number. It is weird how that works, but yeah, I don't know. They were flipping it between. They were kind of showing they're doing like a little red zone type of thing during the Spurs game, and I saw there was a couple of big opportunities there, but I don't know. Maybe this is going to be kind of bad. Adam Wharton, good player. Is he slightly overrated?
Yeah, I think he's only like 2021. Like
he's 22.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Kobe Mainu though, where it's like I think they're really good players, but I do think in sports in general, especially soccer, we have a tendency to guys burst onto the scene, have one spectacular year, and you're like, that's it, they're a star. Like they need to be. When the figure of 100 million was being floated around past summer, it's like he could become a 100 million pound player. But he's not even nowhere near that right now. He's probably like a 40-50. Same thing with Kobe Mainu, I think. I think they're both in the same boat where like at the next World Cup, I could see both of them starting in that World Cup. And you're like,
potentially.
That's a great midfield if they reach their potential. But now, I don't.
I think that not the problem with Adam Warren, but where I think he gets overrated is everyone knows how good of a passer he is, right? Like that's kind of his calling card. But yeah, like it's the 100 million. That's where I'm like overrated. If you told me 50, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. English, up and coming, solid. Like he always puts in a decent shift. I don't think he always is superb, but he's also like a 6. So, and he's like a deep line playmaking 6. It's funny because he's kind of the type of guy I'd want Spurs to sign because we don't have any progressive passers. But I would not do it for 100 mil. You just won't get that return on investment ever.
I was about to say, like, I do think he should, like, this is the perfect time in his career. Like, not even from like a Palace getting the money. I'm talking about him as a player. This summer is the perfect time for him to move because I think if he waits one more summer, he doesn't get that like international tournament where he could make a bit more of a name for himself.
Yep.
And he could flow into maybe a Nico Williams situation where it is like now you're looking, Nico Williams didn't have such a great year. And now he's like, is he going to make the Spain team? Like all of this stuff, like, is he even going to move? Like he's going to stay. Is he going to stay the rest of his career? So for Adam Wharton, I think this would be the summer for him to move to a Spurs or United or a City.
I feel like if you're Adam Wharton, here's like, again, like, and I'm obviously biased as a Spurs fan. We're desperate for progressive passing midfield, and we're desperate for English players because just like our squad registration. If you're Spurs, like just you don't pay 100 million for him. Spend 60, 65. You pay that for Solanke. Like I think Wharton's a better prospect than Solanke. Obviously, we signed them at different ages, but it's like you said with like Nico Williams. If you're Wharton, you better push for a move. Because what happened with Nico Williams is he'll make the Spain squad because, you know, the talent. But at the same time, like he's now, there's rumors like now he's trying to like maybe get a Barca move again. Barca are like, now we're good. Like we're not coming back and you missed your chance. So now it's tricky where it's like for Warren, that could happen. Where if you say maybe no this summer, and I'm not saying Spurs or Barca in like the same context, but the big 6 come calling, you better take your move because if you don't, you might become the Crystal Palace lifelong guy who gets his move at 20. You know, you become James Ward-Prowse.
You become Wilfried Zaha.
Right, which is great. People are going to love you, except you're kind of like, damn, you know, and maybe you're still a great player, but...
It's one of those things where you're like, man, I was good enough to always get in those England teams, but we never made like I never played in the Champions League.
Yep.
Like I was playing at the World Cup, I was playing at the Euros, but I never played a
Yep.
Champions League game.
And don't get me wrong, like Palace were in Europe this year. They've done decent. Right now they're nowhere near Europe regarding the table. Well, that's not true. They're 6 points off, but it doesn't look like they're going to get into a European spot. Spurs are obviously not going to be in a European spot. If they stay up, it's like you probably just want to bank on Spurs getting back into that versus sticking at Palace. Palace are about to have a huge, you know what I mean?
They're going to get a new manager in. They're going to have a whole overhaul.
That's like, an overhaul.
And like they have the pieces where like you could be like, listen, if we win the Conference League, I'm playing in Europa League next year. Like,
right.
That's good and all. But then like if you don't win Europa League, I don't think Palace are making a top 5 spot next year.
It's just too much.
Like, do you
Palace next year want to stay up?
And like realistically, like Spurs give you that opportunity more than a Palace does of getting back into Champions League, even if they finish 17th.
Also, I don't know if you've seen these rumors. Fab's been tweeting it. Alisson looks like he may be off to Juventus. Supposedly, this is kind of weird. He made it seem like Alisson has just given it to the decision of Liverpool, saying like, well, if you want me to stay, I'll stay, but if not, I'll leave. And I get it. Like, that's like nice. Just seems weird. Like, I don't know. If he's saying, I'd like to leave, but if you say no, I understand, that's one thing. But if he's like, well, I don't need to go, but I will if you like don't want me, it just feels weird.
It's probably because he's on like 300,000 a week, where he's like,
right.
I don't really want to. Like, I would like to play. I know Mamu Kalashvili is your starting goalkeeper now.
Yeah,
but I'll sit on the bench and collect my 300K a week. Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But if I'm okay going to Juventus and playing for like 150. Like,
yeah.
Well, that's probably his thought process.
The other thing is, I'm surprised other teams aren't like knocking on the door for him. Like Inter, why aren't you calling?
I'm sure. Well, Inter, I think, are going to go for a youth movement anyway.
Supposedly, they're interested in Vicario. You're going to go for Vicario over Alisson?
At this point, I think that would probably be a smart move. And I'm not a Vicario fan at all.
Right.
But the way Inter is set up right now, they're so old that do you really want to be like, okay, Sommer's gone, so let's go sign a guy the same age that's also declining? Like, I just think
33. Vicario's 29.
Wow, I thought Vicario was like 26.
No, that's the point. Vicario's like close to 30. He'll be 30 in October.
Sign Alisson then. Yeah.
That's my point. Yeah, so it's like really that like it's 4 years, but
I wouldn't be shocked too if like more teams, if he like made his thoughts known. Like right now he's just sitting on the fence like I have zero clue what I want to do. I'm sure if he came out and he was like I want to leave, you'd get like a dozen teams throughout Europe being like
100%.
I'll take him.
Juventus is also a good place to live, where I could just see him being like, yeah, I'll do it. And especially, like, he's also been living in Liverpool. You're a Brazilian living in Liverpool. Like, that sucks. And the Ronaldinho documentary, they talk about it so much, like, why they chose Barcelona. They're like, we got to the city and we realized this is the city for Brazilians. Like, it's so much like Brazil, where it's like, we have the beach, we have partying, we have, like, beautiful weather, we have great football. It's like, they were on the fence between Barcelona and Manchester. And he's like, Manchester was not what we wanted as a city. And it's like, right, like you don't want that. We will see what ends up happening there, but I've been seeing those rumors. This game sucked. West Ham beat Everton 2-1. Let me tell you something. Like, we needed Spurs. West Ham beat Everton 2-1. This game was at the same time as the Spurs game. So fucking annoying. West Ham score first. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall ends up scoring for Everton relatively late, and this is when Spurs were already winning. So I'm like, let's fucking go. We're going to jump them or I think we would be tied, but we jump them with goal differential, and then West Ham find one late. It's getting scary. I mean, we're going to bleed this into the Spurs game, but like, it is getting scary. Spurs struggled against Wolves. West Ham were on the front foot against Everton, it felt like.
I'll say this. I called the Spurs. I actually think I called both these games, but I called the Spurs like it's not going to look pretty, but you guys will get 3 points. Like, I just think it is what it is with Spurs at this point. You're going to get ugly wins throughout the year. I think like my computer still has you guys staying up by a point.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these results were computer-wise statistically going to happen, and they did.
Okay.
So I do think you guys will stay up. The West Ham whatever like luck train, I think is crazy right now because that should have probably been a penalty where the guy punched the ball basically.
That was insane. Yeah.
So like the luck, but then also on the flip side, Jordan Pickford just like killed Tati Castellanos. So they lost the guy that was probably their most informed striker.
Right.
So it's like one of those where you're like, all right, like we won, but at what cost? I think Everton, I feel so bad for them because I want them to make Europe so bad, but I think they're just starting to lose steam. And for me personally, at the wrong time, because I think they have City up next. But it does seem like they're maybe starting to lose a bit of that gas because, I mean, I think we've discussed it all year. They have a really good starting 11, but that bench is kind of like shambolic.
Yeah.
So with a Grealish out for so long, a lot of these other starters having to play 90 minutes every week, like you could tell they're getting tired. But West Ham, I thought played well. I think the one thing that Nuno brought to them was stability in the back, and they've continued to show that throughout his reign. And I still think there's a way that Forest go down, mainly because I want Forest to go down. But I still see a path.
I mean, there certainly is, right? Spurs are on 34 points. West Ham are on 36, and then Forest are on 39. So it's like very, very attainable. I'm just looking here at the fixtures, and we'll obviously get into the Spurs game in a second. West Ham's next, what is it, last four? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. They have Brentford this weekend. They have Arsenal the weekend of May 10th. They have Newcastle the weekend of May 17th. And then their final day is against Leeds. I mean, they could go 0 for 4. Like, they could just lose all these games. That's totally, totally feasible. I think they get a result against Brentford because Brentford's, again, is Brentford playing for anything?
They're still technically in Europe.
Yeah, they're very playing for something. So maybe I think they could get a result against Brentford. I think they lose to Arsenal. I think this is, again, like where normally I'd be like, maybe West Ham could beat Newcastle. I think Newcastle get a result. And then the Leeds
game. Is that
game,
home or away against Newcastle?
They're in Newcastle.
I could see a Brentford draw, an Arsenal loss, and then a Newcastle draw only because, and we'll get to the Newcastle Arsenal game. Newcastle just seemed lost. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we've been saying it all year, but they just seem so lost. So,
dude, Spurs run is tough here. You have Aston Villa, you have Leeds, you have Chelsea, you have Everton, which, say what you will, but like, I think against Villa, and this is just mainly because of our injuries now, and this is going to bleed into the Spurs game. Villa's going to be tough. Like, we have no attackers. Leeds are in great form, and Leeds know like they're not fully safe yet, so they're probably going to want to get a 6-pointer on us. The Chelsea game is always a tough one, and that's at Stamford Bridge. And then we finish with Everton, who's pushing for. We're so going down.
Let's talk about the Spurs game then.
Let's jump in then. Yeah, because it's a good time.
My first thing is, what is the medical staff doing? I've heard a lot of stuff about like how Simmons, did he come back on? Because I was like I said, like I was in between Liverpool, Palace. Okay, because the way that people online are making it sound like he like got hurt and then they were like, you're fine, go back out there. He played for another 10 minutes and then was like, I'm dead. Like, so if he didn't go back on, I don't know how much we can blame the medical staff on that.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Spurs end up beating Wolves 1-0 here. A late João Palhinha goal is what saved Spurs. During the game, Xavi Simons tears his ACL, and what Pooch is referring to is he on the sideline, like immediately he was on the ground. He went chasing a ball on the touchline, like the attacking goal. Kind of fell funny on his knee and immediately was screaming. Like, you could tell he was in a ton of pain, screaming. And at first you're like, all right, is he just like have a knock? He ends up talking to the trainers. They stand up and they start magic spraying his leg. So at that point, I'm like, all right, maybe we have a chance here. And then you see the, what's it called? The stretcher come out for him. And it became very clear that he was not okay. The news ends up coming out. He has torn his ACL. Spurs have had 4 ACL tears this season, which is its own just ridiculousness. Solanke came off this game injured. Apparently, Koulibaly Mwani's picked up an injury that just came out. Kudus' injury is apparently worse than thought. He's undergoing surgery, and they expect him to be out for a long time, which at Spurs, you usually hear it's a knock, and then Kulusevski's out for 400 days with Kudus, and now I'm hearing it's going to be a long time. He may be dead. He might be dead. Spurs struggled in this game against Wolves. We were in our own half against them nearly the entire game. We were just playing long ball. the whole time, and we got lucky off a corner that Palhinha ended up being on the back post. And
corner goals are pretty fun, right?
Anyway, Palhinha is like such a bad player, but he has scored multiple goals for Spurs. What?
That's what he was at Fulham, though, too, where he would hit like just bangers, but he was like, his only good trait was, man, I'm just going to run into the guy running at me. Like,
that's it.
Defensively. And people are like, that's an 80 million pound player right there. Yeah, it's so funny. He's not a great player.
What's frustrating is most people are like, all right, Spurs aren't obviously going to bring him back, right? Like they're just going to let him go. And apparently Spurs are looking to buy him permanently, which just does not make sense. I'm very anti that. But he's played 41 games this season for Spurs, or appeared. He has 6 goals as a defensive midfielder and someone that's played center back for us multiple times. Shout out João Palhinha. Kinski, ridiculous final save. Free kick in like the 95th. Pulls that out of the top corner. He played really well. His distribution was on display. Unfortunately, it was all long ball. That's all we could do. But yeah, I mean,
better than a Vicario long ball that I've seen.
Yeah, the one where he just kicked it straight out of bounds. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was good distribution. It's just we were only going long. Listen, at the end of the day, we're just trying to stay up, so we'll take our 3 points. But like when Wolves have you backed into your own half the entire game, and like your only way out is just like truly Brexit, it's just bleak. Our attackers now, the only attackers we have fit at the moment, especially if the Kolo Muani stuff is rumor, is Mateus Tell, Richarlison, and that is it. Yep. If the Kolo Muani stuff is true, then those are our only 2 fit proper attackers. Odegaard has ACL.
You know what that means? 4-4 fucking 2.
It probably will be. I mean, I keep saying, why is Pedro Porro not being played as a right midfielder, and then you put Jed Spence behind him? Jed Spence keeps doing shifts at left back. He actually looked decent this past weekend, but like I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not the gaffer. It is what it is. He ended up getting a result, but like it's just looking so bleak. I don't know what else to say about it.
I'll give 2 points. First point is, and I texted you this after the Kinski save, but I had like PTSD flashbacks to Danso making that foul on the edge of the box with like 30 seconds left in the game. And I was like, this is going top shelf. I was like,
and
then when
obvious.
Kinski made that save, I was like, wow, that was literally going to be like Danso probably should have just been released at that point if just dropped 2 6-pointers. And then it does look bleak, but like a win like this, I think will help with stuff not on the well, I guess it is on the pitch, but just confidence within the squad, which
it was
I've
needed.
been saying for weeks with Tottenham. All they need is 1 win to get confidence and be like, we could do it. Like clearly we could do it. Because it felt very much like for a while that you guys would let up 1 goal and it's like we lost the game. Like there's no shot we're going to come back. So I do think not only the win, but also a clean sheet too, where like the guys on the pitch can be like, hey, we can do this. Like I do think it will give you guys a jolt, even if most of your team is out with injury, where you're like, hey, this is all we got. This is all we need. Everybody in this room is what we have to rock with. Like we have the confidence. We won the last game with most of these guys. Like, let's just go out and do it again. Like
100%.
I think all you guys need is 4 points to stay up, in my opinion. Out of the last 4 games, a win and a draw, I think keeps you guys up.
Yeah, I'd like to believe you. I would. I think this is going to be one of those races that you look back and some team goes down with like over 40 points, which we thought would get you safe. But
maybe Leeds. Maybe Leeds.
That would be insane. If Leeds blow it, that would be insane. That would be, what's a bigger bottle job, that or Arsenal?
Well, we're not going to blow it. So
okay, good. See, some confidence. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is with Spurs. We'll have to see. It is what it is. Arsenal edge out Newcastle 1-0. Pooch, obviously, I'll let you talk your team. I did not watch this game.
Yeah, I watched it. I thought first of all, Newcastle, idiotic we did the same corner kick routine 3 times in a row in a span of 15 minutes and they just didn't catch on, which was the funniest thing ever. Literally just passed into the 18 to Havertz. He plays it back on the edge to Eze. Eze like missed wide once. He didn't get it got blocked the second time, then the third time he just went top ins with it. I think we're starting to turn it up offensively. I don't think we had our best offensive game, but we held strong defensively, which was our MO all has been our MO all season. And this was realistically the toughest team we have to play with the remaining 5 fixtures. So I do feel confident in our squad going forward. What I don't feel confident with is Havertz going off in the 30th minute. I saw that apparently it was that they're positive about it, that like he might just be out for a game or two, instead of like done for the year. But like the fact that it was non-contact and he went down really killed me because he's been kind of getting into form, like kind of ramping up. I think you're starting to see what was supposed to be the plan attacking wise all season, which is Odegaard sitting in the middle and then Eze off the left, which we talked about it last episode, opens up Eze tremendously. Like the guy is immense off the left and he's starting to ramp up when he's playing there. So I think that's a positive too. Saka came back. He was super direct, looked good. So I think our attackers are starting to actually find their form right at the right time, which is good with Atletico Madrid right around the corner at the end of the season. I still have problems with the middle of the pitch only because of tired legs. I really wish, I think we talked about it last episode, Marino was available. I mean, Miles Lewis Skelly came on in like the 60th to play the 6, which is his natural position, but like just literally Norgard didn't even make the squad, and instead they're having Lewis Skelly play the 6. So I do think that middle of the pitch is still an issue. And then Newcastle, I wouldn't be shocked if Eddie Howe gets fired before the season's over. Like they looked like they were like, I don't want to be here right now for a majority of the game. Like they just the first 10 minutes, I was like, man, Newcastle's gonna give us a fight. And then the rest of the game, I personally they had good attacking like pressures and stuff like that, but I never felt too threatened by them where I was like, oh my God, we're gonna lose 3 points here, the title's over. I was always like, anything that they threw at us attacking wise, I was like, we got it handled. So I just think they're out of like I just don't think that they are going anywhere. I think they need a new message in that locker room.
It's interesting. So I was watching a video about this with Newcastle, and they were highlighting similar problems to what you said, and even saying like they didn't really blame Eddie Howe. A lot of what they noticed is well, a lot of what they noticed was the way that they press and the way that they defend is their back line does not get passed through, but what gets passed through a lot is like their midfield. And that breaks lines, and then there's a lot of 1v1 and then things like that. So things that could be easily fixed, and it's like some tactical issues. But the thing I thought was the most interesting, the only managers in the Prem who have refreshed their backroom staff less than Eddie Howe is Pep Guardiola and Arteta. Every other staff, and he's also one of the more tenured. I think he's actually tenured longer than Arteta, maybe less than Pep. I think he is.
Maybe by like a month or two. Because I think they showed up in the same year, but go ahead.
Right. Yes. But the point was is Arteta and Pep have more recently, they've made less changes to their background staff, but they've more recently changed it. And they were saying maybe it's not so much that Eddie Howe has the wrong tactics. Maybe it's the fact that he has no new voices in his room. And that could be interesting too, to see if like they do it. Not to mention, supposedly since Eddie Howe has come in, he has had like, it's very similar like Unai Emery, where he's had a lot of the same players and they've never moved off of them. So like Joelinton still has a big role, and it did back then. Bruno Guimaraes, who was ball when he got in, like, and Bruno's one of the better midfielders in the league, so it's not a big deal. But the point is, you know, you have like for change to happen, you have to expect like something has to change. You can't just keep rocking up and doing the same thing. And although some things have evolved, they were saying that it may not be so much an Eddie Howe issue. It may be like he needs to refresh his back room. And then also, although Newcastle, you know, like they sold Isak, they bought Voltemade, he's still running this. Like Dan Burn is still playing center back and left back for them. Like there's been no update to Dan Burn. So Dan Burn kept them in the Prem, but they're not going to push for the next tier of things until Dan Burn is upgraded on, which is something you see with a lot of successful teams. When you build a project, you have the players that started there. You kind of do one refresh that gets you to the next level, and you have that final refresh that is your star. You know, if you're Arsenal are probably the best example of it, right? You talk about it. They signed, can't think about it. I think he was a right back, Spanish dude who's kind of ass.
Cedric Suarez?
Yes, like him, right? Like that's like your first refresh where you get players that just come in and fit what you're looking to do. And then your next refresh is you now have Yuri and Timber. You now have Piero and Capier, who are like a step above that are going to push you to the next level.
Yeah.
Where Newcastle never took that next step. They made a couple of signings, but they never like fully did. So I'm not disagreeing with you.
I also think, because I agree with what you said regarding how. By no means do I think this is a how issue. I think it's maybe like the voice, like you mentioned, the voices have just become stale. Like it's tough for 5 years to basically be sending the same message. And then on top of that, like you mentioned, like about that squad updates, I think they've done an amazing job raising the floor of their team.
Yeah.
Like where like you used to be like, okay, Miggy Amaron is our starter. Now he's our backup. Now he's not even here. Like instead we have like an Anthony Elanga or Harvey Barnes is the backup winger. But like they never upgraded the starter part. Like they always upgraded like the floor, but never the ceiling. And I think that they thought with everything happened because they had a lot of turnover this summer where they thought like, hey, we're going to be able to bring in that star player, those star players to kind of upgrade, but everybody just said no. And I think you have to point to the airport not being an international airport in Newcastle.
Shut up.
I think that's where it starts. I think if I was Newcastle, the city, I would be like, hey, listen, like PIF, I know you guys just gave up Live Golf. I know you guys just gave up a lot of other stuff. I know there's the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Like you guys are worried about that.
Clowns.
But please sponsor our airport, do straight flights to Saudi Arabia, to Dubai, to Romania, like just do more international flights in and out of the Newcastle airport. And I think we could generate more players coming here. I'm being serious. I think I could see a João Cancelo like going back, like Barcelona's like, we'll give you 50. And then PIF is like, well, we just bought an airport in Newcastle and Cancelo can visit his family in Spain anytime he wants. So we're going to send him there.
Interesting.
Who says no? Not Cancelo.
No, he'll be coming to Barca. All right. Before we move off Arsenal, who has a higher cortisol level right now? Spurs fans or Arsenal fans?
I don't even know what that means.
Cortisol is it's stress. Who has higher stress levels? Spurs fans or Arsenal fans?
Arsenal. You guys are, first of all, I've heard multiple Tottenham fans say, playing in the championship would be real fun. That would be nice. We would win the league. So I don't think you guys would be right back up. It doesn't matter. You'd get clowned for a few years, but then you'd be back in the Champions League and you'd be like, who cares? We won a European trophy, yada, yada, yada. Arsenal fans, it's like you've been second for 3 years in a row. If you finish second again,
but this has got to feel the worst. You have to sack Arteta if you don't win anything this year.
It would be a possibility. We got into that conversation a few weeks ago. But I do think that even Tyler Adams mentioned it, I think a week ago on the Men in Blazers podcast, just the tension at the Emirates when they played them, where they were like, he was like, the fans didn't really help because they were just as nervous and it makes the players more nervous. So I do think that it's there. Like you guys go down 1 at Spurs Lane or whatever it's called. And you guys give up, the fans give up, the players give up. So it's like you guys are kind of mentally already checked into the championship.
I don't think they give up. I think you guys give up more than Spurs fans give up. Spurs fans are still showing up. Still showing up week in and week out.
Well, they have to. They got to pay for that stadium somehow. Beyonce isn't going to tour every single year.
Okay, next question. Who say Spurs stay up? Who's had a more successful season? Tottenham or Arsenal?
If we win the league or if we come in second? Like, what are you talking about?
You come in second.
Do we win the Champions League too or no?
No. Obviously in this
so
case,
it's
no.
just nothing, come in second. Do we make the final at least of the Champions League?
Does it change something for you?
A little bit.
So fine, you make the final. Congrats.
It doesn't matter actually because we had the more successful season.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you guys finished 17th.
We won the same
amount.
We won the same amount.
We did win the same amount. You are correct with that. But the expectation from a lot of Spurs fans I heard was top 4 Champions League quarterfinals.
What was your expectation?
You guys didn't reach any of them.
What was your expectation?
My expectation was to have fun, enjoy the games, and win a couple trophies.
So we missed out on something there.
We missed out on something. I've had fun and we've won a couple games.
But who has a better?
Especially in 2026.
I think Spurs have a better outlook.
How many? Can you use a plural onto wins in 2026 or no?
Yeah, we won a Champions League game.
Can you use plural wins in the Premier League in 2026?
We have one awesome win. I'd rather have one awesome win than a bunch of ones that don't even matter in the end.
They would matter.
We're always going to look back to Wolves and remember João Palhinha.
Hold on. They would matter because we would also make Champions League. I get we wouldn't win the league, so it wouldn't matter in that sense. But I would rather have.
You just want to be part of the dance. That's all. I only want to be in it if I'm winning it.
That's all I heard.
I only want to be in it if I'm winning it.
And just putting in under 18s to play Southampton away
to win the Europa League, and we did.
To win the Europa League, to be in the dance at the Champions League, correct?
No, to win a title, son. Just to be in the dance of the Champions League. That's not what we were caring about. Okay. We were trying to win the title in front of us.
So you're saying, you want it to go back to the old way where you would happily win your chip and finish 17th last year with no Europe this year. How it used to be, where the Europa League winner didn't make Champions
Versus
League.
Doing what? Versus not winning.
What you did, where you make Champions League.
Why would wait. No, obviously I'd like to make Champions League.
Oh, okay. So it is about getting into the dance, partially.
No, the goal is to win the chip. It's just a cool benefit of it.
Oh.
But you asked if what I would prefer. You asked what I'd prefer versus...
Yeah.
If you said, would it still be worth it? Yes. If you asked what I prefer, obviously I prefer to be in the Champions League this year.
Oh, okay. So getting into the dance... So getting to the dance is still preferred.
I don't think you've spun this the way you think you have.
I think I have.
I don't think you have.
Let me put it this way.
I'm leaving with a trophy and I'm in the Champions League. You're leaving with no trophy and you're just like, I just want to be at the dance. You brought no bad bitches to the dance. You brought no bad bitches. You just got in. You bought your ticket.
Hold on.
You got no bad bitches there. I brought a bad bitch. I brought a bad bitch to the dance.
Your cortisol's spiking.
Mine is not. You just learned about that word.
Yours is spiking. I did, and it's helping me right now because yours is spiking tremendously.
Mine's not. I'm just explaining to you. I brought a bad bitch to the dance. You just wanted to go to the dance.
Hold on.
But then she dubbed me for somebody else.
Hold on. If we're doing the dance metaphor, this is how it goes.
Dance.
This is how the dance metaphor goes. You brought a bad bitch to the dance.
Right.
They say you're not getting into the dance. She's going into the dance. You're like, fine, cool.
No, but I was in the dance.
To the dance.
But I fumbled her in the dance. I'll give you that.
I'm saying, in this analogy, where how it used to be, you're saying you would rather get to the dance with this bad bitch, get in, fumble her. Or you get to the dance, they immediately say, dude, sick, baddest bitch here you brought. She's coming in, you're not. But dude, have an amazing night, baddest bitch. You still have her number. You don't fumble her completely because you're sitting there afterwards. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry that they didn't let you in.
You showed up without one and just stared at her all night, and then you talked to her all night, and then she went somewhere else.
Exactly. But I'm saying about you. I'm saying about Spurs. We're talking about Spurs.
You got bricked up from just talking to her all night.
See, you're trying to spin this. You have not answered my question. I'm not spinning.
I told you.
You have not answered my question.
I said I put my balls on the table. I said I would rather bring a bad bitch to the dance, give it a go, and maybe if I fumble at the end, but hey, at least I showed up and I brought a bad bitch. You said you want to show up, you start talking to a chick, and then someone else comes and cucks you, but you're like, hey, you know what? Well, I got to talk to her.
Hold on, time out. I think I'm missing the point. Who's doing the cucking?
In this case, it'd be Manchester.
But they're not in the Champions League anymore.
What? I'm talking about I think we're way lost.
I think I'm going to be honest. I think we both have gotten.
I don't think
way
we're arguing the same thing.
Yeah, I think I found out. I think I found out what happened. I think we're talking about
different dances. Okay.
Yeah.
Fumble. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking about Magic City. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So Man City beat Brentford 2-1. Did you watch this game today?
You mean Man United beat Brentford 2-1?
Yes, that's what I meant. Owen had City on there. Yeah.
I saw Casemiro scored. I saw Sesko Fender scored.
Yeah.
I just think Brentford, they're not. I actually don't think they're going to get Europe. I think right now they may be in 7th.
I'll tell you right now, I have it. Brentford are currently in 9th.
Yeah, they've lost some steam. I think they're going to end up where they should be, which is mid-table.
Yep. You think Chelsea get it or no?
I think Chelsea get 7th. I don't think there's
So
a
who
shot
drops
they
out?
get Europe anymore. I think Brighton may drop out. I think Bournemouth may stay in.
To be
I
fair, though, Brighton's in the
also
best form,
could
maybe the best form
see,
in the Prem, other than City right now. I'm
yeah,
just literally looking at their form. Leeds too are in great form.
I just think, and I know I said earlier about Everton, like kind of slowing down. There's something about this Everton team that makes me feel like they're going to get into Europe somehow. Like, I think that top 5 is solidified in terms of Champions League. I don't think anybody's touching them. But 6 through basically 11, I could see it going any which way. Like, I could see Chelsea getting 6th. I could see Everton getting 6th somehow.
Yeah.
Because it's all settled by 3 points. So I still have faith that Everton can somehow pull it off, but maybe that's just my blindness.
It's
Even though
all a game of runs, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, who had Brighton 5 games ago, winning for their next,
1,000%.
like, oh, you had that? You're on that?
No. I'm saying I agree with you
I was like, wow,
1,000%. Where you're like, I did not see them like being
right.
in
Like,
6th.
you never know. Like Leeds, for instance, Leeds were about to sack their manager. So like we could also be chatting shit here where Chelsea go on and win the next 4 and like easily secure it. Brighton come back down to earth. So I mean, I guess that's why we have a podcast. It's all about predictions and fun.
I think from Brighton, so Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Brentford, Fulham, and Everton are my teams right there where I'm like, any 2 combination of them could get in. I think, gun to my head right now, I'd say Bournemouth, Chelsea in that order. Get in at 6th and 7th.
Okay. I could see that. I think Bournemouth definitely deserve it. Real quick here, I got a question earlier today from a United fan. I thought it was actually a decent shout. So it looks like Bruno's going to break the assist record, I think, in the Prem. I don't know what the record is. If Portugal win the World Cup, Bruno breaks the assist record, and he's a main player for Portugal, which we assume. Is he a Ballon d'Or candidate? My initial thought is no. But I could hear an argument. Maybe podium. I don't think he finishes on top. I think it'll be... I mean, listen, if PSG win the Champions League...
Where does he finish?
He may finish on top.
Is he a
or
bottom
in
guy?
I don't know. Maybe he finishes in the Ballon d'Or. I don't know, like in the race.
Okay. I mean, a guy like Bruno, I could see finishing in a trophy.
It's an interesting shout, though. He's having a good season. Manchester United have actually had a decent year, but I think he just misses out.
I like the shout. I think if Portugal win it and he's deemed their best player, I think he wins Ballon d'Or. And that's basically what this question was, correct?
If Portugal win it, well, here's the tricky part: is it depends who wins Champions League. Because if we're talking Portuguese and PSG wins, I think it's Vitinha.
Yeah.
I just don't think you're going to see someone argue against that.
I think it just would depend at that point who's more influential in the World
Nuno?
Cup. Like Espirito Santos, I don't think he can play.
Nuno Mensch.
No, I know. They'll never give it to a fullback.
I don't know.
So my other point on this is he's about to break the Premier League assist record, fair, but do you think it should count as the one? Because I think most of his assists are coming off corners, and I heard that corners don't count.
Are they
and
actually
I'm being
off corners?
dead serious. I saw like a week or 2 ago that like out of his like 18, it's like 12 have come off of corners where he's gotten the assists.
Wait, his 19 Premier League assists, putting him just one away from equaling the all-time record. Okay, of 20. So it is Premier League. Sorry. He already broke the Manchester United record. I don't think they're all from corners. So I think now you're coping.
Of them are.
If you want to go through and do the math, I'm personally not going
Bruno F. Man.
Bruno F. I like that. Just write Bruno. You're good. They know who you're talking about from Man United.
Corner assists. Let's see. Okay. During 25-26, he's recorded an extraordinary number of assists from corner kicks, with reports indicating 11 of his 16 to 18 league assists came from set piece deliveries. Now, the record is of Thierry Henry, who I think had 20 with 0 corners. So that's why I'm only bringing it up. Yeah, so that's why I'm bringing it up, is because I'm like, I think
like it.
Fair if he does it off corners. Personally, though, I've been hearing Arsenal get stick all year round about corner kicks. And if a guy breaks the record and we don't mention, like nobody in the media mentions, like, hey, over half of them came off corners.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
fair.
what are we doing
It's
here?
honestly,
Then
I'm
we
gonna be
shouldn't talk
honest.
about Arsenal's corners. Like, what are we doing?
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm actually going to give you props on this because if I do find out they're all off set pieces, it does lose validity. Here's my, at this point
It's
in the
like,
season, go on.
All I'm going to say is it's like somebody breaking Holland's, I guess he has the single season goal scoring record, right?
I believe so. If he doesn't,
Yeah,
we'll say he does.
whatever. But let's say they beat his, I'm just making up a number, 30 goals in a Premier League season record, but then you find out 20 of them were penalties. Like, you're going to look at that a bit odd. Like, you're going to be like, really? Like, they're most 2/3 of them were penalties, or
Right.
over half of them were penalties.
Right. You have to look deeper, and I agree with that. Here would be my balloon again, this is just at the moment. This obviously changed with Champions League, World Cup. My current podium, if we had to do a top three, and again, we'll say, I think number one, right? It's obviously a World Cup here that's going to take precedent. I do think, say Bayern win Champions League, and then, I don't know, we'll say France win the World Cup. I feel like, and I think it's Michael Olise. He's been ridiculous. I think like that's a fair shout. He's won both. He was obviously I'm assuming he'll be a key player for both. Say PSG and France win. Is it like Ousmane Dembele? You know what I mean? Right now, though, my podium, if we're just going off what we've seen, I think Harry Kane needs to be on there. He's having a ridiculous season. He has like 53 goals and doing what he's doing with Bayern. I think Olise deserves a shout up there. He's having a ridiculous season. I think it's tough because I look at the Barca guys, and if part of me says Pedri, part of me says Lamina is getting a shout, especially again, if Spain win the World Cup, I think it'll probably end up being like a Lamine and someone else. Again, for Portugal, though, like, I don't know. Like, I kind of get it. Like, Bruno is a decent player for Portugal. He's doing well. Is it Vitinha? I don't know how he's done at PSG this year. They'll obviously potentially be they're in the Champions League semifinals, maybe the final. I don't know. I think it's a combination, but I would probably go Kane, Olise. I know Pooch probably wants me to throw an Arsenal guy in there. My only tricky part is I just don't know who on Arsenal would deserve the shout.
I mean,
I guess Rice, is that who an Arsenal fan would say?
Rice would be the only one, even though he really hasn't had the statistical whatever this year compared to previous years. I think if you see an Arsenal win, first of all, I just think whoever wins the World Cup, that's who it's going to be.
Right. Well, it depends,
I don't think
though.
Champions League, see, Messi won it
Arsenal,
last time Argentina won the World Cup, and he didn't really have that much of an impact in Champions League. So,
he wasn't in Champions League. Wasn't he with Inter Miami?
No, he was still with PSG at that point.
Okay. Well, here's my only argument against that. If Arsenal do hold on to win the Premier League, Arsenal play a Champions League Champions League final. I won't even give them a win. And then England win the World Cup. I think Declan Rice has almost as good a shout as Harry Kane. Harry Kane probably edges him out because, again, if they just play a final, I'm assuming. I don't know. You're right. It's tough because the World Cup's going to hold a lot of weight. I guess my point is
if there was no World Cup this year, and I'm trying my hardest right now because I thought I saw something where out of like Harry Kane's 56 goals this year, like over half of them were penalties, and I'm trying to pull it up, and I can't find it anywhere, and I'm not going to Google it. So
that's just not true.
I'm just going to rock with he has 56 goals this year.
He has 48.
I think it was counting Club World Cup. I think if there was no World Cup and we're just going based off what we've seen so far this year, I think personally, I would probably put it at Kane, Yamin, and then either Pedri or Rice.
It's just tricky.
Although, no. Hold on. Let me scratch that. I would put Olise at 3.
I think Olise deserves a shout. Yeah. I think you could probably make a shout for Luis Diaz. He's been terrific this year.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Mbappe, and like I don't know how he's in these conversations. I know his numbers are decent, but like I don't know how he's in this conversation when they like Real Madrid are going to go, but it's Olise then. Olise's had a better year.
My thing is, if he's already getting shouts and it's not even World Cup time, unless Olise is the leading goal scorer at the World Cup, and is the one that scores the game-winning goal in the final if they win it. Like, that's the only way Olise would top Mbappe because, remember, it's voted on by the media. The media have such a bias towards Mbappe, and they kind of want to see him. They want to give him the crown. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the other thing. It's voted on by French football. What did Olise just leave? PSG. Sorry, what did Mbappe just leave? PSG. Olise has 15 goals, and this article is old. He has over 15 goals and 26 assists. He won the league. He won the DFL Super Cup. He's going to win if they win the. I also don't think France are going to win the World Cup, but if they win the World Cup, right? I don't know.
I said,
Champions
though,
League semifinal.
I think Mbappe is the captain of that French team. He's the
such a dictator,
quote unquote leader. Unless Olise legitimately they win the World Cup and he has the most goals scored on that team, he was clearly the whole reason that they won the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's the only way he would get it, even with winning Champions League. So
yeah,
I do think that they want to crown Mbappe so bad to win this.
Mm-hmm.
So
all right, understandable. It was an interesting question. We completely lost sight of Bruno, who I think will probably finish in the top 10 to 15 because he's had a good year.
We need to figure out that corner kick stat though, because that could change a lot.
All right, let's move on real quick. FA Cup. So City beat Southampton 2-1 to move on to the final. Nico Gonzalez, man, what a fucking strike. Thunder cunt, top bins to send them through to the final.
I don't know if we can use the C word, but if you're using it, I'm going to start using it.
Of all the things we've said, we were just talking about taking bad bitches to, it's not even the worst thing in the world.
Dude, I don't know where we went with that. That was like a 5
I also kept talking about you getting bricked up by her, by the bad bitch that you fumbled.
I legitimately, I think we were talking about, I'm still on that in terms of, I don't know what we were talking about. But Southampton, I think, gave it a good go. I think it just, there was clearly a talent discrepancy.
Yep.
But there is something to it after that Arsenal game where they only score 1 against Burnley. They have to score 2 in the 85th minute on against the Southampton, where I don't know if they think that they have it wrapped up or not, but I do see a little crack. Pause. And it's like when you're at home as a high schooler and your parents forgot to tell you that the guy fixing the leak under the sink is there, and then you walk down to get breakfast and you just see full crack at 8 a.m. and you're like, whoa, okay, that's how I'm starting my morning. That's what I'm picturing with City right now. A little crack.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Chelsea beat Leeds 1-0. McFarlane in. Is he the man? Is he their Michael Carrick?
Ethan, as I'm watching this game, I was thinking that the entire time. I was like, I can't wait to discuss this on the pod because he could be their answer. It seems like the players actually respond well to him and listen to him. And to me, he seems like he's gotten more confident since being on Grosvenor's staff as an assistant. Because when he first came in, even in that press conference, he seemed nervous. He was like, yeah, I don't know. I have zero clue what's going on. I just got called up. He seems so much more confident speaking post game after that Leeds game, and his tactical ingenuity in terms of seeing what Leeds were doing and kind of counteracting that and everything. I thought he came across really well in my eyes in terms of his ability to formulate what they did after a game. So I tip my cap to him. I think that the players really played well for him. I still think they'll probably go out and try and sign somebody with a bigger name. But in terms of teams in the championship or even mid to lower level Prem teams, I think if he can give a good showing for Chelsea for the remainder of the season, would not be shocked if somebody takes a flyer on him next year.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea. Yeah, we'll have to see how Chelsea does. But obviously our final here in the FA Cup, which is in a couple of weeks, will be City versus Chelsea. So that'll be fun. Keep an eye out for that. Let's move over quickly to La Liga. On Friday, Real Betis drew Madrid 1-1. Shout out Hector Bellerin. Big fan of both our clubs, Barca and Arsenal. Yep, he's a La Masia boy. Went to Arsenal for, I'd say, probably the prime of his career. Ended up coming back to Barca. He's now over at Betis, which he is made for that team. Just their aura, their aesthetic, and he's kind of got that vintage, what's the word, hipster type of vibe going.
Yeah.
He scored late in the game to equalize. By Madrid drawing that game, not getting a win, Barca now 11 points ahead of Madrid. Obviously, Barca won this weekend against Getafe. Mbappe, though, he's been dealing with this, I guess it's a hamstring. He might miss El Clásico, which isn't this upcoming weekend, but the following. At this point, if I'm him, I would just sit out the season until the World Cup. There's just no need to be.
Yeah, I think if I was a player in that position, I would too, especially with an injury this late in the season. You're not winning anything. You've locked up second. Like, don't
well,
worry.
especially, and you said he's your Ballon d'Or favorite, so he should get healthy.
Mhm.
Getafe lose to Barca 2-0. First off, you're welcome, everybody. We defeated the terrorists again. We're now 11 points over Madrid. And then, nothing too crazy this game. Fermin Lopez is a beast.
And real quick, Ethan, you can continue your thought. Instead of Barcelona 2, Getafe nothing, can you put mission accomplished like George W. Bush did after Desert Storm?
We got
Thank
him.
you.
We got him. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Talking about El Clasico and who's going to be fit, it looks like Rafinha will be fit for that, so that'll be nice. Obviously, Lamin's done for the season. Fermin Lopez, just going back to that point, Chelsea offered us 40 mil, and the kid's going to be he's already worth 100 mil.
I like that better, Owen.
What do you put? Threat neutralized. Yes, sir.
Yes.
We put those Getafe bastards down. Fucking horrible club. There's probably clubs in Saudi that I like more than Getafe. Moving on. Atleti beat Bilbao 3-2. This game was not as close as it looks. Bilbao ended up actually scoring in the 90th after Atleti scored in the 90th earlier. So the game going to the 97th was 3-1, but then Bilbao scored in the 97th. So now you're like, oh, it's 3-2. Thank God Atleti scored. If not, they would have lost. Or, tied. Sevilla, so this is our other relegation, lose to Osasuna 2-1. They are still only a win out of relegation, so they can just one win and they'll be out of it. But they conceded goals here in the 80th minute and 90th minute for Osasuna to complete the comeback. It's looking bleak for Sevilla. These are the games you got to win. Osasuna is a decent team in La Liga, but you don't have any easy opponents coming up, so you have to try and get results. They were up 1-0. Mape was the one who actually scored for them, and then they blew it in the 80th, 90th. This has probably been our most failed project.
Well, they didn't listen to anything we said.
That's true. We didn't ask for Mape. We didn't tell you to go do that. I don't know who thought that was actually a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah, we talked about it last week where I felt like Sevilla going down was a bigger one than Tottenham, like the odds of it. So I don't know. I think they might be cooked. Which, if you're somebody who wants Ajume, Lucien Ajume,
your guy,
or who I think he's great. Or I guess Aspilicueta, if you want him. I don't think he even plays for them anymore. Yeah. Who's the other guy? Akor Adams. Those two. Oh shoot, they have Alexis Sanchez on this team too. Jesus.
Yeah,
they have the old Man U wonder kid from FIFA 15, Jans Adin.
Januzaj. Sosa's going to be so mad that we both can't pronounce his name. He's like, don't disrespect him.
He knows I can't even pronounce Yamal. So
yeah, what is it? Yamin? It's crazy. I've just learned that Yamin. Yeah, they're kind of shot. They're definitely in a worse spot than actually. Here's the thing: they're not in a worse spot than Spurs. What makes them in a worse spot is the fact Spurs keep getting hurt, but we still have players that you recognize their names. Sevilla, this is a pretty much fully fit team, and they're playing like shit. That's kind of the issue. We'd like Sevilla to stay up, but it's looking bleak.
I would love for them to go down.
Well, to be fair, it would prove they didn't listen to us.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm a hater.
Let's move over to Serie A very quickly. AC Milan draw Juventus 0-0. Torino draw Inter 2-2. Genoa lose to Como 2-0. I've seen a lot of reports that Nico Paz is officially going back to Madrid, which I think we all expected, but I think it's becoming a little bit more official. They need another number 10. They only have 5 of them, 5 players to play as a cam. Arda Güler, Franco Mastuanu, Jude Bellingham. What I said? Oh, he'll be number 4, Nico Paz, and then they have someone else. Who else am I missing for the 10? Maybe I'm not. Maybe
Danny Ceballos could play there.
No, he's
if
definitely.
You really wanted to add him.
What a fraud, man, Danny Ceballos. Whatever. Bologna lose to Roma 2-0. Pooch, 10 seconds on this game.
Shocked, utterly shocked. I thought Roma was
clean
dead
sheet
in the water. Yeah,
congrats.
And a clean sheet. Daniel Malin goal again. Crazy his run right now. He's cooking with gas, especially for the Dutch national team coming up. My biggest thing is, hey, Juve, who's that at knocking? The door? Who's that at the door? It's me, motherfucker. Champions League within grasp. Hey, Juve.
Why aren't you knocking on Como's door?
Because we're drawn. We're both at the door together. Knock with me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll knock. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, Juve.
Hey, Juve. Daddy's home.
What's frustrating about Inter drawing this weekend is like, if we didn't blow that game to them, and on top of it, we'd probably be in a title race.
Yeah, honestly, if you didn't draw that game and then lose the next 2 games, you guys would be in a title race.
That's so fucking annoying.
That's what, 8 points right there. You guys would be at 69. You guys would only be 10 points behind them.
I know.
So
with 4 games to go.
Yeah, that's a title race right there.
We're in a. Hey, someone's got to win. Someone's got to come in second in the race. You know what I mean? You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know that.
But you want to be in the race.
Sure. I know that for sure, broski.
All right, let's move on here. Bundesliga. Only reason I'm talking about Bayern right now is they came back from 3-0 down to win 4-3. Let me tell you something. If you're FC Mainz, you have to be fucking pissed. It's like, you guys have already won the fucking league, man. And you're coming back against us. Like, let us do our thing. You don't care about this game. Also, a lot of rumors coming out about Nico Jackson going back to Chelsea. I forgot Nico Jackson existed. I didn't even know he played for Bayern. Like, I knew he was on loan there, but I forgot.
I already saw the rumor, or I already saw the Arsenal online fans, which are the worst, being like, last time we picked up a striker from Chelsea, it worked out pretty well. Look at Havertz. Maybe we should do it again. And I was like, everybody shut the hell up. We're not getting Nico Jackson. I do not want Nico Jackson on my team.
One of my favorite things about like Nico Jackson in general is that Chelsea fans try and explain to you how valuable he is. And then it's like, so
not anymore. Yeah.
No. But like back in the day, they're like, no, like you don't get it. Like he does. And I mean, looking at his stats actually in the Bundesliga, 10 games started, 7 goals and an assist. That's actually pretty decent. Fair enough.
Ethan, can I be so honest with you right now?
That's all I've ever asked.
Me and you, front 2 in the Bundesliga, we're both getting 10 goals and at least 5 assists.
I mean, what was our guy's name? Graphite did it. He couldn't even do it in Saudi.
Ethan, anybody could score again. They play such a high line. All you need is a little bit of pace to get by them. And especially if you're in a team with Bayern Munich where it's like, oh man, who's going to pass me the ball today? Is it going to be Elise or Luis Diaz? Or maybe Linus Carl? Like, or Serge Gnabry? Or Pavlovic? Or Kimmich? Like,
just anyone can pass you the ball. You're right.
Yeah, like literally they're all the best players in the Bundesliga. Like, okay.
Fair enough.
Man, I got 7 goals, 6 assists. Actually, that's pretty bad numbers, if I'm going to be honest, for Bundesliga. Like,
that is true. Let's move on.
He should be putting up like prime Scottie Pippen numbers.
He's not even playing.
I know.
It's like he's barely playing.
He should still be putting up those numbers.
Quick around the world here. Did you see this? Rochdale and York City?
Yes.
Okay, so Rochdale and York City. Yeah. They're playing here. It's essentially a promotion match for the both of them. So Rochdale needed to win 1-0 to get promoted. York City needed at least a draw, 1-1, or I guess just a draw in general to get promoted. 90th plus 5, goal for Rochdale. Fans storm the field. They think they've been promoted. 90th plus 7, 2 minutes later, York City score. They are now drawn. Now the York City fans have stormed the field. York City ends up, the game ends 1-1. York City ends up promoted. I don't even know, like, who. That's got to suck, man. You storm the field, they take you off the field. You're like, yes, we got promoted. And then the other fans are now storming the field.
Yeah, I just want to say, too, York City has gone on, in my opinion, top 5 benders of all time, the players.
Yes.
2 days ago, I saw one of the players got his chopper out for Snapchat.
Insane.
It was just on Twitter, where it was like, can't believe whatever player for York City did this. He's just chopper out in the bar.
Can't hate on that.
I don't think he was even Winnie the Poohing it. I think he was just fully undressed, just chopper out. And then today, I saw videos of them just at their local pub, just like drinking still. And it's like they're going on like a world tour bender of just York. Like, it's literally, awesome. I don't think they're leaving York. I think they're just all going to like the same 3 pubs, just choppers out, just shutting the place down, being in there from the beginning to the end. Like,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, non-league football.
Let's move on.
And the best part is, most of 80% of these players will not be playing for York City next year in League 2. They're going to still be in the National League.
They're going back. They're going to Rochdale.
Yeah. The Rochdale will be like, we'll take the guy with the chopper out. We'll take the guy that just downed 8 pints in 2 minutes. Like,
how big was the chopper?
Not big enough for me to really realize his chopper was out. I just saw him running through.
Fair enough. Hey, the fans were wondering. I actually got a fan, Connor W, just asked that question. He was wondering. He texted me. He's on the live stream. He was wondering how big the guy's chopper was. Let's move over real quick to SD Huesca versus Real Zaragoza. Everyone has seen this video. Real Zaragoza goalkeeper Esteban Andrada punches Huesca player in the face after receiving a red in the 90th. So this is actually, for those that don't know, the Aragonese Derby. It's a big game down in the Segunda Division. In the second half of stoppage time of Huesca's 1-0 home victory, Andrada, 35 years old, important to understand this is not a child, this is a grown man, went over to speak to match official Damaso Arcediano Monacilio, I don't know, on the touchline. When he was confronted by Huesca captain Jorge Pulido, that's a name that is played in La Liga a ton, Andrada then pushed Pulido and received his second yellow card of the match. Immediately after being sent off, Andrada rushed towards Pulido and punched him in the face, sparking a mass altercation between the players. Huesca goalkeeper Dani Jimenez received a straight red after appearing to strike Andrada, while Zaragoza left back Dani Tasende was also sent off. The video is awesome. He gets his second yellow, and you see him just recognize, well, let me earn it, right? Like, let me get my money's worth. Goes, runs, punches Pulido like right in the face, clocks him, starts a melee. I don't know. Whose side are we taking here? I'm kind of with it. If I'm going to get the red, I might as well just get my money's worth.
Yeah, I agree with that part of it. I still don't understand why he got the red. Is it just because he was arguing with an official?
Because he pushed Pulido.
He
got a second yellow.
I know, but I like the push like he barely touched him. If anything, it was more of a flop, I felt like.
Right.
In the video.
Well,
like
it was probably a combo of arguing and
I just felt like it was so like it's the 90-something minute. Like, really, you're gonna I actually blame the ref. The ref is at fault here because the referee had the ability to be like, you want to know what? That was a soft flop. He's arguing with the fourth official. It's like 2 minutes left in this game.
Right.
Let me just go up and say, hey, don't do that. Like, come on, you're already on a yellow. Like,
you never know what he was saying. He may have been arguing with the ref and getting all the ref's nerves already. And he saw the push and I was like, all right, you're done. Fuck you.
Maybe, but
this is also a guy, remember, this is a guy that legitimately seconds later decided I'm going to go punch him in the face.
Well, I agree with that decision 100%. Dude just flopped in my face and earned me a second yellow. Like you said, I'm going to earn this red.
My point is, though, is whatever he said to the ref, I'm sure was not, he probably wasn't on his P's and Q's. He probably let him hear it. But yeah, it's obviously been just doing the rounds. And I know fan Kevin K wanted us to talk about that. So shout out Kevin K if you made it this far into the pod. Alrighty. Obviously, we have a big week here. We have our Champions League semifinal, and it's time to get into our Champions League semifinal preview. These are the champions. I think we harmonized. Owen, do we harmonize there? Thank you.
Thanks, Owen. Thanks, Owen.
Thank you, Owen, for that one. Let's talk about the first game here on Tuesday, leg one. We have PSG versus Bayern in Buddy. Let's start with our prediction. First leg, and then we'll obviously give our prediction of the tie. Computer.
Thing is... Okay, you go. I need to hear what the computer says.
Computer, give me a PSG 2-1 victory with a little bit of controversy.
Computer, make that man Elise have the best 20-second orgasm of his life and score a goal. Give me a 1-1 draw with
I like that.
One player being sent off. I don't know from where, but one player will be sent off.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think Bayern are going to win the tie, but I can see PSG because everyone thinks Bayern is a better team. I can see PSG getting a result at home, and then when they go to I guess Munich, it ending like, I don't know, an aggregate, what I say, 2-1, so 5-3. I don't know. The game really opening up. But any key facts here? I don't know if there's any key injuries. Do you know any key injuries, Pooch?
No, because both teams are cheating and basically putting out their under-18s on the weekend.
Well, that's what happens when you get to win the league, when you wrap it up. Someone didn't wrap up the league.
When you're playing Mainz and I don't know, like some random French town that nobody's ever heard of and nobody cares about. Bordeaux.
Bordeaux is actually a beautiful city. Ball knows.
I out. That was I think
Do you
they're
want
in
to
like
apologize
League
to the city of
4.
Bordeaux?
Not really.
Okay, fair enough. I'm taking a quick look here. Bayern don't really. Oh, Serge Gnabry, he's out. Leonard
Oh,
Carl
oh my
looks
God.
like he's out.
Gnabry's out? What are they going to do? Oh, no.
Well, the biggest issue here
Dude,
is
that changes everything. That changes Serge Gnabry, the 32-year-old. We're talking about the same Serge Gnabry, right?
You just mad
The
that he
one
was
that
better for
the
there it
one
is.
whose most goals in his career in a season is like 13. He's out.
Oh
Oh
my God.
man. If only they had Michael Olise, Luis Diaz, Harry Kane, Nicholas Jackson, and whoever else they have. Other
Leonard Carl.
25. I think he's out too.
It says early May. I don't know what that means. PSG have no injuries, so they will be good to go. The only injury here is Quentin. I don't know how to say his name. We're good. You know, it must be awesome for these managers just to not have injuries. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
It's because, like I said, they don't play guys on the weekend. They put like the under 21s out there, and they're like they just beat up on like these bad teams.
So would you rather Arsenal play in Liga?
Yeah, Ethan.
Wow.
If Tottenham played in League of this year, you guys would win the league. Even you guys would have 0 injuries. Kulusevski would be the best player on the planet if Tottenham played, because he would be playing because you guys wouldn't play him every single game.
Interesting. Well, you just said that you'd rather have an easier road than a more difficult one, but that's okay.
Yeah. PSG won it last year by having an easier road.
It's never about the easy road. Atleti versus Arsenal. The first game's in Madrid.
I think you got that wrong. I thought we were playing Barca.
I don't know why you're chatting shit to me.
I thought we were. Is that just a thing on my screen? Oh, it's
I have Atleti winning 3-2. Now you made me do that. Now you made me take Atleti's side. That's fine. Go ahead. What's your prediction?
Atleti 3-2.
Wow. Okay. Stand on it. Key facts. Injuries. Any? I think Atleti's healthy, honestly. I don't know Arsenal.
I thought they just lost somebody. They lost some guy whose last name starts with B.
Did they?
I think
Alex Baena?
Yes. I don't know if he plays or not for them.
No. He's one of their better players. Yeah. Baena's very, very good.
He's hurt, right?
Pablo Barrios. Pablo
Barrios. That's who it was.
Yeah, he's actually.
I don't know if he plays or not. But.
He does. He's there, like starting. He's literally like kind of like a Pedri. He's kind of starting the center of the field. Yeah, he's a real only injury. Alex Baena's healthy. Alex Baena's out on the wing, and then Arsenal. Any injuries there for the fans to know about?
Havertz won't be playing.
Advantage Arsenal. You're in Timber.
Havertz is better than Gyökeres. Dude, Timber has like a Kulusevski where they said like 2 months ago, like, oh, he's hurt, and never gave like an update on that, and he just hasn't played.
What about Eze or Marino?
He's hurt. Eze should play. He said it was like a precautionary thing. Marino won't play. Calafiori, I don't know if he'll play. Havertz will not play. Saka may start, which would be huge. But besides those, I think we're pretty injury free. If I'm giving a real answer, I think it will be a 1-0 Atleti win.
Wow.
I don't know if we can win there, if I'm being totally honest, but I don't think it will be a high scoring affair.
Yeah, it's not going to be. I said 3-2, but I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I think we both were in the heat of the moment because I was doing the Barcelona joke.
Yep.
So I do think it'll be 1-0 Atleti final, but I don't think Arsenal will look bad, but I don't think Atleti will look like dominant.
Yeah. So real quick, just to recap here, who's bringing the bad bitch to the dance?
Dude, I'm lost on that metaphor. I've been thinking about it for the last 20 minutes, and I still can't figure out what you meant, and I've started to lose track of what I meant.
Yeah, we're not going to get back into it. I think this is going to actually be an interesting tie. I think there's 2 versions of Atleti. You have La Liga Atleti, that kind of sucks, and then you have Champions League, like knockout stage Atleti, which are just like stay in the game. Their goal is to just play, like, honestly, a little bit of what Arsenal does, except I think they're a little bit more counter attack heavy, where they're just looking to kind of like spring like Lookman, Julian Alvarez, maybe Sorloth at the end of the games, and just try and nab a goal.
I'll say this. My goal for Arsenal in this game is don't let it go to more than 1 goal, bringing it back to the Emirates.
I agree.
because I think that's what happened with Barcelona twice this year, where they just dug themselves too big of a hole. And I think at this point in the season, the 2 goals over 2 legs, like after the first leg, would be too big of a hole against a team as good as Atletico Madrid, where I don't think we could go turn up at the Emirates and score 3 on them and let them get 0. Like that's just my thinking.
If you allow Diego Simeone to go into a 1-legged tie with a 2 or 3 goal advantage,
yeah, it's over.
The dark arts, like horrific dark arts. The PSG Bayern, that'll be a fun leg. Atleti Arsenal has potential to be a good tie. It also has potential to be just fucking mind numbing. Like I could see Atleti just sitting in their own box and just being like, all right, we're gonna try and catch you on the counter. I could also see it being Arsenal who kind of like, you know what, we're gonna give you the ball and see if you could do shit with it.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's how the game started.
Yeah.
With at the what is the
right in Madrid?
Yeah,
no, the Wanda Metropolitano. Maracanã is in Brazil.
I know. I got my
idiot.
I'm gonna die. Yeah, so I could see Arsenal the first like 20 minutes just doing what you said, where they're just like, dude, you guys have the ball. Let's just hunker down and at least get our feet on the ground before we start trying anything crazy. Because the crowd, if they score a goal quick, are going to ramp up and be on us. And you saw it at the Etihad, which is nowhere close to the cauldron that Madrid is, where at the Etihad, they had a couple chances early, and that place started to get ramped up, and you could see us kind of lose our composure a bit. I think the whole goal should be 20 minutes, should be tied 0-0 for us, and then we could starting to try and dictate the game. That's what I would be saying if I was Arteta in the locker room.
Thomas Edison created the light bulb. Today we have to play connected. If you came in our men's league game, you know I started this week's game with that when I pulled out my tactics board, but you didn't come.
Really?
I did.
Did you win?
We did. I think we won 6-1. Thanks for coming
exactly
to the game and
what
supporting.
Happened in the Arteta game.
Is it? So when he said that?
Yeah, the Edison thing does work.
Anyway, let's go to similar quality soccer here to wrap up the show. U.S. Open Cup. In the U.S. Open Cup this week, you have the Hudson River Derby, Red Bulls versus NYCFC. I don't know. I know a couple of years ago, these teams stopped playing, like MLS teams stopped playing their full teams. I don't know if it's projected that they're going to. Do you know? Are they playing actual lineups?
Stop playing their full teams.
At some point, they were only sending U21 teams.
Oh, that became for the Open Cup. For the Open Cup.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just trying to see, like, is this an actual...
I do think I know what you're saying, and I think you're correct.
I just don't know if that got turned around yet.
Under 21s.
I'll tell you right now.
Although it's saying, I don't know, that's last starting 11.
No, I'm looking right now. The preview on FOTMob is showing...
It's saying last starting
11. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So I do think that they may play under 21s.
Well,
I guess look at the round of 32.
Is that? Yeah, that's what I was about to look for. How do you see the round?
First one, San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Timo Werner played for San Jose in the round of 32, so maybe it did get reversed. And
CFC versus Westchester. The tricky part though is again NYCFC West. Like Talos Magno played, Tavon Gray played. Raul, who's like one of NYCFC. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky because they played Westchester, so like they probably were never going to play their full 11 anyway. But like Ojeda played, I assume they'll play. I assume they're going to play their stars, quote unquote stars. That'll be a good one. That is, what day is that?
I mean, St. Louis City played their full starting 11. I don't know if that makes any.
Do you guys have a backup 11?
Don't think so.
Okay. Fair enough.
All the games are Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's tune in. And then friend of the pod, John Murphy Jr. and One Knoxville, after knocking off DC United, will be taking on the Columbus Crew from Columbus. So that should be a good one. John also, big shout out, last week made Team of the Week. So good for our guy. Pooch, give me a prediction on this game. One Knoxville versus Columbus Crew. Who are you taking?
One Knoxville, 1-0 extra time.
I love it. Let's see. Is John in the projected lineup? Fuck, he's not. I think he's gonna play. He starts most of these games. Yeah, other than that, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching somewhere else and you could see us, let us know how the pod looked today. We spent some money, we invested in making it look a little more aesthetically pleasing. If you're listening, just let me know how it sounded. Let us know some new segments. We're trying to keep the pod short. I know today's a long one, probably closer to about an hour and a half, a little longer. We're trying to
We
get
had a lot
this.
to get off our chest. We watched a lot of ball this weekend. We wanted to give people knowledge of what we watched.
Yep, 100%. Let's bring Owen back. If we were hiding Owen all episode, let's get him back out here. Hi, Owen.
Hey, guys. Really glad to be out of that hole.
Yeah, we let Owen out of his little chamber. Make more clips. Anyway, that being said, class is permanent, form is temporary. Enjoy the games this week. We will see you guys again on Friday. Peace.
Peace.